Well, hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Neon Tiger, and welcome to yet another match here in our Link to the Past Randomizer tournament for 2019. Woo! We have got a Game 2 matchup here between Linlinlin and Incoherent. So Game 1, obviously you can tell from the bottom there, we have a win for Linlinlin. Incoherent needing to reverse sweep here and get these two matches in order to win, and I see that we have at least I think two new sprites here. I've never seen these before, but I love Incoherent sprite. He's got the Guy Fieri sprite. I love that. That's beautiful. I may need to run that from now on myself, but yeah, Incoherent's trying to take us to Flavor Town, and Linlinlin, I recognize it, that sprite, but I can't quite place it. Someone, if chat knows, feel free to help me out. But we're here, Game 2. So Incoherent getting to make the decision on what changes. Secret of Mana. I thought that might have been the case, but thank you so much, chat, for reconfirming that. Much appreciated. But yeah, Game 2 here between these two. It's going to be very interesting, I think, to see how this all shakes out. Not quite sure what to expect from this match as far as is there going to be early go mode, late go mode, anything like that. And we're on our way. We'll find out soon. Both starting in Sanctuary here, Incoherent and Linlin getting the map. And I assume both will make the play into Lost Woods and Kakariko. And unfortunately, I just missed that map. Check real quick. Let's see up here. Incoherent is coming on up. So is Lin. Get our first pulls. It's going to be hearts for both of them. Looks like a Lumberjack Ledge check here for Incoherent. I think Lin is going to be skipping it for now. It's big 20. Or maybe not. Just trying to get some kills there, probably to get the next level of free pull. In fact, I may be joined by a co-commentator here. I was thinking I might have to do this solo, but it looks like Xander may be joining us here shortly, so do not be surprised or alarmed if you hear another voice on here in just a moment.
Hello. Yes, I'm here. Thanks for getting this started without me.
No problem, Xander. Thanks. Glad you can make it. We've got both starting off with the kind of the Lost Woods shuffle here. A couple of big 20s is all we've seen so far here. Lin having won game 1 between these two. And big 5 in the Lost Woods Thieves Hideout.
Linlin getting a whole bunch of bombs from that tree pole. Definitely going to be nice as they head into Kakariko.
Yeah, I think Lin was trying to set up for the next tier of tree poles, and may have successfully done so. I don't think Incoherent did. So yeah, we saw Linlin walking around killing a bunch of the enemies before going to check Lumberjack Ledge. There's a big 50 right now, hanging out. Another big 50. And there's some bombs, so Incoherent picking up some bombs regardless. And the first glove upgrade.
Yeah, I guess a lot of people were making some good wishes down in the while throwing so much money, but a sword too found down here.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really nice find. Let's see what we've got here in Blind's basement. Just a bunch of hearts so far. Yeah, there's a theme going on, it looks like, for some of these areas. We've got all the hearts showing up and money. Just hearts and money. That's all we've got tonight. And, of course, the sword and the first glove. So, Xander, what are you thinking we might find in this seed? I had discussed that. I have no idea what to expect here, but maybe you've got some idea of what you think might happen, or maybe what you want to happen. I'm kind of impartial to that.
The one thing I always hope for no reason other than it's my favorite location, is something useful at Magic Bat. Whether or not they use that trick to get it without the magic powder, it doesn't matter to me. Oh, that flute, though. That's a nice find.
Yeah.
Yeah, so at some point, I'm just hoping we see a Magic Bat check, just for personal preference.
And they both got the flute now, so gonna turn this into maybe an Untitled Goose Game, except that this is not a goose that's doing horrible things. This is a bird that does awesome things. Yeah, so not a lot of divergence here at the start. Obviously, both runners have chosen to start Sanctuary and run the Kakariko route, which means their clears will be fairly similar for a while here, I assume. That's probably the most convenient flute location, though, you would think, right next to the bird.
For sure, and incoherent, just stocking up on bombs here with the money they have, definitely not a bad idea. Just so they're not running around Hyrule bombless and can't access certain caves and such.
Yeah, we've got a big 10 arrow cluster there in the back of the tavern. And Linlinlin not having to pick up bombs because they had already gathered enough from tree poles and it looks like probably just from the couple of bombs that we found so far. It looks like just a big 20 on the library ledge as well. Finding a lot of big 20s early. What do we got here at Maze Race? Let's take a look. Ooh, yeah, it's a hammer. So both of them will go back and get it. Both of them are going to do the early check, but they'll be making that trek back up to go into the house and blow open the wall.
I like how Incoherent used the flute real quick, but realized, oh shoot, I gotta dodge the duck.
Yeah, it's actually something I want. Now, interestingly enough, Xander, we're now one item away from Dark World access. We just need to find that Moon Pearl.
That is true, and with how many places we have to check, it looks like the chances of it being on Pyramid Ledge are pretty low. Depending on what kind of person you are, hopefully they find it soon. If not, hopefully they find a whole bunch of nothing and they gotta go through Aga Tower.
Here's one of the nice things about that early flute. We're seeing both Linlinlin and Incoherent do this, but you can be able to flute straight to 7. And oh, a divergence here. And Incoherent actually going, oh, lamp is on the ledge. Well, well, well.
I'm still a baby when it comes to dark rooms. Knowing that lamp is there is, for me, is like the best knowledge I could ever get. So we'll see if, I imagine since it's so close, both runners will opt to get it, but we'll see if either of them decide, I don't need it.
Yeah, we've got Crystal Pendant, Desert Palace, and we've got Pendant Eastern Palace and Tower of Hera. Just a big 50 in Agina's Cave. Incoherent probably going to flute out and go check the places that Linlinlin is now checking. Of course, that's very important to know too. With that lamp, where that lamp is, we do end up having a aggro required seed because we're going to need that to get through the dark rooms.
And having a sword here in Mini Moldorm Cave makes it so much nicer. Like, you can just keep throwing your bombs and missing and then just run out of ammo, and it can be so frustrating.
Indeed. A lot of money so far early on here. Now, that doesn't mean that we've got Zora required at all. You know, that's just the way that the randomizer is. It doesn't factor that into any case because it assumes that if you gotta go to Zora to get something and you don't have enough rupees, we'll farm it. Whether that's through Houlihan Room or somewhere else.
And Lin resets back to their house to find the uncle just stashed 20 rupees in the chest. Didn't leave much behind in life savings.
think he spent it all on the house and the mortgage. But we will get to see what Uncle left us as he lies there, just kind of, you know, bleeding. Give us a little piece of heart. Or he could just be sleepy. Yeah. He might have had a little bit too much tea before dinner time.
And with a decent amount of weaponry in hand, Lin decides to go ahead and head into Hyrule Castle pretty early here. There's a decent amount of items. It's one of those places that, because we started in open, it's like you gotta find time to commit to here, but if there's a whole lot of nothing, it can be really frustrating. It looks like we got a whole lot of something, though. Lin finding the mirror in that chest here in Hyrule Castle.
I'm gonna get to see what's hanging out here besides that mirror.
Definitely a lot of love early on in this seed. We're up to 7 hearts already.
Taking care of that ball and chain pretty quickly here. And just finding a piece of heart. Of course, that mirror is going to be super helpful.
Yeah, between the flute and the mirror, definitely some very convenient item placements we're seeing so far.
It's actually Linlinlin going through and doing Dark Cross, it looks like. Oh, it's a little difficult to find that chest, but getting the flips, that is okay. That's logically locked behind the lamp, so we know that lamp leads to Flipper's progression, which means that whatever gets us into Desert Palace is likely going to be what we need next. So probably Book, I would assume, is somewhere.
Yeah, Book or Gold Gauntlets, because they could flute and get there because they have Mirror, right?
Right. Those are the two possibilities. The Titan's Mitts or the Book would get us back into logic here. Incoherent going up to the mountain.
So both of these runners showing us they have some pretty strong confidence in some dark rooms here. Pretty nice to see.
Indeed. Of course, Incoherent going through and looking for Hyrule's greatest dungeons, dig spots, and dark rooms, and finding a big 5 out of that.
And Amazing Ampharos pointing out to us for us in chat that with Fire Rod, the flippers would be in logic. That's newer-ish to me that any dark room that has torches
that's right,
are now considered in logic with Fire Rod.
Right. AAA pointing out a very good point there that yes, the Fire Rod because there are torches in Dark Cross Room, that would mean that that yes, they are within logic with the fire rod. So that could be another alternative here if we find the fire rod as well. But there's definitely some kind of fire source that puts that all into logic, and it will be interesting to see which should we find first. Linlinlin not finding a whole lot though, but we do have our first Dark World dip, and it looked like the green pendant I think was at Palace of Darkness if I caught that glimpse real quick. I'm also kind of sad because while I was checking out on Incoherent side, I missed what the bunny sprite was for Guy Fieri.
I saw it. I don't know how to describe it. I didn't know what I was looking at. I'll be honest.
If it's not like a hamburger, I'm gonna be really sad.
It was human shapen.
Okay. No. Maybe we'll get another chance to see it here.
An incoherent finding a red boomerang. I feel like that's typically the less used of the two, but I mean it's got extra range, so it could come in handy.
It could.
So actually some significant divergence here as Lynn opts to go to the Eastern Palace area.
And checks the hospitalist hut too. Nothing there yet. There's the Candace Samaria. Oh, there we go. We were asking that question if we would find something that would put that in the logic, and we just did. Incoherent, unfortunately, gonna take the fall down 2 floors and end up back here. Gonna have to mirror. That was a good closet. There's Linlinlin getting back into logic here with the Titan's mitts now. So that puts the Desert Palace play on the table and also puts Lamp on the table, which means that Flippers would then be within the game's logic. Linlinlin gonna find. Yep, there's the lamp. But I'm gonna head back to 6, go to the Dark World. Yep. Yeah, I think Linlinlin knows what's up now. And the bunny sprite for him is of course the bear.
That's a barrel on her head, I believe.
Yep. I guess I could hear it cleaning up Tower of Hera here. There's the bow hanging out on the west side of Meyer there. That's a good play. Not going to get the lamp as well.
Sneaking a peek at that island up in the sky. Just a piece of heart there, so probably won't be heading up there.
Yep. Also, just to let chat know, I did go back and check what the Guy Fieri bunny looks like. It might be, and this might make sense too. It might be Gordon Ramsay. Another chef, obviously, would make sense, right?
Yeah, I'd buy that.
couldn't quite tell either, but I think that's probably my best guess based upon what the sprite kind of looked like. It's obviously very hard to get a lot of detail in some of these sprites, but it looked like that to me. Anyways, Incoherent is now going up to Paradox Cave with the Mayor of Flavor Town. Not finding a whole lot yet.
Linlinlin finding a bee in the a bottle in the big chest in desert and making their way up to top section here, Desert Palace.
Have a question in chat. Where were the second gloves? Back at the hospital's closet. It was in, I believe, the right chest of the three, if I remember correctly. And there's the Moon Pearl. Okay, so that is also actually will be within logic eventually. Incoherent still out of logic, being up here on Death Mountain without the lamp, which requires the second glove from Sahasrara's closet. Oh wait, yeah, he does have a flute too. So that could be. I think that would technically also put it into play. Yeah.
Yeah, it is in logic. And Incoherent actually has full Dark World access. Well, not full, but has Dark World access with the glove and hammer and Moon Pearl.
That's correct as well. So, yeah, both owners now actually have Dark World access. Just the question here is that Linlinlin does not have the ability to do much other than be Bunny right now, but that could change soon enough.
And I'm not used to this. I just realized Incoherent actually has the right items to do this Spike Cave like 20 minutes in. That's really early from what I'm used to seeing.
Yeah, I wonder if that could... I do wonder if that means there could be something here. I don't know. Spike Cave is always kind of a gamble. I guess we'll see. Nope. And Linlinlin taking out the Lammolas right now with the bow. Having a bit of a struggle with it, but it's not necessarily too easy to do. Kind of hard to get those shots timed up a little bit. But should be able to do this. There we go. And Incoherent now going back through and checking all of these locations that Lin has already checked. And gonna go...
Kind of cool to see Incoherence opting to go through the sewers backwards to hopefully find their flippers.
Yeah, that's gonna be really interesting. I think gotta find the rat that's got the key. That's... Oh, actually might have picked it up already. Yeah. Now here's the easy part, because you get the water sprite, so you have a frame of reference where you are. So this part's not too bad. Once you get through here, you just kind of like walk down to the bottom, and face the wall, and eventually key hits the door and you open it up. But now comes Dark Cross, and this is a little bit difficult to see where everything is.
Meanwhile, Linlinlin and Checkerboard Cave deciding that those 300 rupees are worth getting because they got some big spending plans in mind.
Yeah, could be maybe just saving up a little bit for Zora play. And we're getting a check here for the bottle, and it's just a big 20.
And it looks like Incoherence deciding it's time to check out Dark World.
not really too big of a risk here. Obviously, we've got Dark World access, so possibly could see both runners go and do that.
With how early they're going into Dark World, it'll be interesting to see how long they end up like staying away from the eastern area and not getting their Titans.
Oh, yep. I was gonna say Linlinlin definitely making the Zora play with all that money. Just hopped into the whirlpool to warp up here. Nothing really in the waterfall cave, but gonna throw the bottle in there. Gets a fairy in the bottle. Okay, that's our fairy refill tonight. You know what? Look at here. It is in Skull Woods, making the dip into here to see if we can find some quick items. This is a crystal dungeon, so it will have to be completed at some point. Of course, not having Samaria means he's got to pull the... I take a death warp as well, but...
Doesn't even take it.
That's an amazing death sprite for a Guy Fury. It's a hot dog.
So I was looking over on Linlinlin's side, spends all the money at Zora. Zora spits out a shield and just Linlinlin just saves and quits and doesn't even pick it up.
No, that's the save and quit of disappointment right there. You're just like, I don't even want this. I don't need this. I don't want this. To heck with it. But Incoherent just getting the big key. So we're gonna bomb jump across here. I'm in a little trouble with the, it looks like with the bomb jump setting it up tonight. It's not easy. Without the boots. Got it though. He gets the magic cape for his trouble.
Yeah, maybe they should go back and do Spike Cave again.
Yep. And one of the 5-6 crystals I just checked looks like it was... Yeah, it looks like we do have the 5-6 crystals now at Desert Palace and Turtle Rock. And Incoherent looks like just picked up... I think it was Ether, I believe.
I want to say it was Bombos.
Is it Bombos? Definitely it wasn't Quake, because we know Linlinlin found that outside of Skull Woods. It is Bombos. Thank you.
What would be interesting is if this cape pays off instantly right here at Bumper Cave.
That could be the case. It'd be very interesting if it did. Nope. And we do have access now to get into Ice Palace without the Fire Rod. And Incoherent looks like maybe making the Graveyard Ledge play, which I like this. I like this play right now. This is normally very, very isolated and a hard thing to get to, so being able to pick it up right now is probably a smart decision if there's something important up here. Meanwhile, Linlinlin...
Unfortunately, I was going to say without the Titans or boots, had to take the long way around to that little labyrinth of bushes and such.
Yeah, unfortunately. But Linlinlin getting the bomb jump across there at Tower of Hera. And unfortunately, only a big 20 there for Incoherent. That would have been really nice for them if that was an important item, like, say, Ice Rod. Ice Rod showing up there. Not a bad find this early on. We do need it, obviously, for Trinex, but got quite a while to go here. And I guess for both of our runners now completing Tower of Hera, just to see if there's an important item up here because we have access. So we do get a key. So here's a good question. Where is incoherent going? Maybe now they're thinking Zora? Yeah, I think they're gonna do catfish and then mirror and go into Zora. I think that's not a bad play. Because we know that Linlinlin has not been to catfish, so again, you know, the more that you can route these orphaned locations off, ones that are normally orphaned, like catfish, graveyard ledge, the more you can get those off the table if you can do them now. And especially if they turn out to have something important, then boy, you've got yourself a nice little solid advantage there.
A quick question about Hera. I didn't keep track of the items very well there. Do we know, did they find all the items in there, or did they both orphan an item in the basement?
You know, I'm trying to remember if we found the compass. I know we saw the map. And obviously we found one item, I think they did leave an item down there.
The interesting thing is, Incoherent didn't have a choice because they didn't have a fire source, whereas Linlinlin did have the lamp at that time. So, I mean, either way, both of them left it behind. But
yep,
yeah, it's a little thing to point out.
So the question now, I think, for Incoherent, maybe now the play is to go down to Sahasrara and go in Eastern Palace.
Yeah, you think
just kind of.
So, do you think Incoherent's going to grab this shield?
You know. Doesn't save and quit, I think it will. Oh, yep. He's gonna save and quit anyways. Linlin's about to find some useful tools up here. Get that flute out, so already leaving Death Mountain while Linlinlin picking up the Moon Pearl. And actually off the 3. Interesting.
So Incoherent's committing to this early Dark World access and still hasn't gone to Eastern. I'm guessing they're heading down to the Thieves Town area and down that way. So
yep.
still delaying their find of Titans.
Also keep in mind they don't have the Cane of Samaria either, so that would be a nice utility item to have at this point. I will need it for Misery Mire anyways, and Turtle Rock, so. But neither of those are immediate dungeon plays at this point, so I can also see it not being a priority. There's the Fire Rod. And the Magic Powder.
Yeah, with that powder in hand, I'm hoping we see a Magic Bat play soon now.
You know, Xander, we do have the Smith Chain, so you may just get that. Now, not for Incoherent, maybe Linlinlin will have it. Because my guess maybe is that if Incoherent eventually finds those gloves, it's going to delay getting the Smith Chain and may not even go back up to Dark Death Mountain quite yet. We've got Ether for entering both Misery Mire and Turtle Rock, which is the one medallion we haven't found. That's a bit of a problem there. Shovel, though, in the C-shaped house. And I think Incoherent's going to dip into Thieves Town. Linlin's going to go up to Skull Woods.
Nice find there. We got another sword upgrade here in Thieves Town.
Yes, that is definitely something that's really good to find for both Incoherent and Linlinlin. These are probably the best plays that they think they can make right now, and that's good. But I definitely think there's a reason why we haven't seen Incoherent go over to Sahasrara. I definitely don't think it's because, Incoherent's forgotten about it or anything like that. Usually that's something that you just want to kind of keep when you go over to Eastern Palace. So that's probably what the thought is. Go over to Eastern and Pod. Maybe we'll check at that point.
Yeah, for sure. It's not like incoherent short on checks over in this left side of Dark World. So definitely nothing is really wrong about this play.
Yep, but Linlinlin's going to go to the back here and take care of Mothula. So going to aim to get that crystal first before maybe exploring the rest of the dungeon.
Yeah, since they know they have to come back here anyway, perhaps they're thinking they'll find both the items by the time they beat Mothula and won't have to do the front. Unfortunately, we know the cape is in the big chest, so we'll probably see them clear more of Skullwoods down the line.
Yeah, we had Cape and Bombos in here, so we know that Mothula doesn't have the item.
That's right.
But it is required to come back here and beat Mothula anyway, so Incoherent will have to come back at some point. Linlin's going to have that taken care of, and just will have to clear out the rest of the dungeon to get those two items.
And that fairy from the fountain paying off for Linlinlin here on Mothula.
That's a real good pick there. And hopefully going to using the hammer. I'm a bit surprised not going with the... Well, the hammer does do temperature damage, but not going with the fire rod here. You do have that green goo. Yeah, they're not switching over, maybe thinking that it might be better to use the fire rod, and indeed, that is the case here. Nicely done. There's the map. And I agree with that switch because I feel like at that point, you know, you've used up your fairy. You're not really getting the hammer shots you need. Just switching over to the fire rod's a little safer strat. There's a small key, so we can indeed go ahead and check good old-fashioned left side chest here, the big chest. And it's the map, so that means that Blind's got something. Now, what blind pun do you think we're gonna get this time, Xander?
I just read it, honestly. I'd forgotten some of them, but that one was probably one of the worst ones he has.
That is indeed a bad one. But Incoherent taking down Blind, gonna get that last item out of the dungeon, and it's a piece of heart. So, second sword is a nice find. So Linlinlin about to get that magic cape and pick up the second item. And gonna head on out. Completely finished with Skullwoods. Doesn't need to come back for anything. Can move on. But Incoherent is gonna head down to probably a digging game and then maybe do South of Grove Cave check and Stumpy shovel in the Grove. Linlinlin checking that bumper cave. No, it's nothing. And just some bombs at digging game. Incoherent trying to walk around them, but they are in the way, so Does not get to do that. And indeed, the mirror has come out, so that is going to be the play is to kind of again making a decision to check off some of these orphan locations. Linlinlin just picking up the shovel as well, so probably going to follow Incoherent here into Thieves Town first, and then do all these checks down here. But we'll also have the ability to take care of the Smith checks now, since Linlinlin has the Titansmiths. We haven't seen Hype Cave yet.
What do you feel about Hype Cave today? Do you think it's going to live up to its name?
I don't think so. I think we found too much stuff already. I think it's gonna be a Hype Cave. We probably would have had a little bit less of a full board here.
I'm thinking there's going to be one good item in there.
There could be. If Hype Cave if it only has one good item, does that just make it like Great Value Cave or something?
Yeah, something like that. I want to see boots. I want to see these runners running.
Yeah. Starting off with a big 20. That's not the best thing. Piece of heart. Piece of heart. Piece of heart. One more. And the blue mail. Aww. That's the first time I think I've ever been disappointed that there wasn't a piece of heart in that DOS chest. It's like if you get the jackpot on the slot, on the slot machine, you pull the lever, and you get like the first 3 that light up, and you're like, oh yeah, I gotta get this last one, and I'm gonna be rich, and then you get like the wrong one, and you get nothing out of it.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's blue mail. I'd be happy with it.
Yeah, blue mail will be nice for our runners here. And yeah, actually that's a piece of heart on Lake Hilly Island. Blind check there from Incoherent, and picks up the picks up a heart refill there. So look at this. Incoherent making the journey around. The journey we don't see very often here, coming from the right side. Looks like maybe first... Oh, actually gonna check Hobo first. And then maybe doing some more Dark World checks over here. So interesting routing, just as far as location checks here from Incoherent. I kind of actually like it a little bit. Because they're grouping together a lot of these orphan checks that you find, the ones that are really kind of hard and out of the way to get, and they're doing them all at the same time. So reducing the amount of times you have to backtrack. Yeah, here's the trip up to the pyramid, and then maybe probably a trip over the pod. And I assume if that's the case, maybe Sahasrara at the same time.
Yeah, I was thinking that same thing, that this might be the route that finally leads Incoherent back over to Sahasrara, that's where they need to be going right now.
Interesting though, gonna go ahead and just flute out it. Where Incoherent heading? Well, heading Ice Rock Cave? I don't think we ever saw them go to Ice Rock.
Yeah.
Yep. But Linlinlin now gonna get to hear the sausage joke. Unfortunately. But that is also good, because that means that's a blind fight. So I'm just kind of curious here, as far as this might be a thing that we get to ask Incoherent about after the race in interviews. just maybe asking about what the strategy is for these checks. And it looks like maybe now, yeah, going over the pod now. I'm just kind of curious if there's the strategy here is to kind of make sure that these orphan checks don't just stay orphan forever, because that can be incredibly frustrating when you're at the end of the game. And yeah, I think we'll see. You should see in just a moment here. Incoherent, go ahead and flip over to the mirror. Maybe. Yep. There we go.
I wonder what's going through Incoherent's head right now, just due to the fact that both Eastern and Pod are pendants, and they're like, they're heading over to these dungeons that they don't need to beat. So they're happy now finding these items, but it's like up until right now, I'm wondering, like, did they think this was a risky play?
They might have. I believe this is a 2 versus 3 matchup between Incoherent and Linlinlin. The sprite on Linlinlin's side, chat's asking, that is the girl from Secret of Mana, and Incoherent is playing as noted chef Guy Fieri. Dipping into Pod here. Hopefully he'll find a key on the left side, or he's going to have to hop on out, because maybe it's bow locked, and we know that we know where one of the bows are. But Linlinlin now getting to do, yep, there's a key, so not locked behind a bow. But Linlinlin now getting to do the Smith chain. So Xander, maybe you might get to see your magic powder here in a moment on the magic bat.
Yeah, we just might. I'm right now thinking, like, as I mentioned, we're in Incoherent's in a pendant dungeon now. They have the items if they wanted to. Oh, there we go. We got ourselves Ether. Ice Palace. I know they don't have Fire Rod, but do they have the ability to full clear it if they wanted to? Because that is a crystal.
Which dungeon are we talking about?
Ice Palace. I'm just thinking, like, dungeons they can enter, which are crystals, which are pendants.
You can, if you know how to do some bomb jumps. And not just Ice Palace bomb jump, there's a second bomb jump that you would normally need for a full clear.
Oh, because of the hook shot, right?
The hook shot, yeah. Which is possible to do, but it's not an easy one to do. Yeah. If that's the case, then yeah, that would mean hook shot would usually be logically required for that. As Torsu is pointing out in chat, which, yep. You getting your bat check.
Darn, just bombs. Foiled again.
Oh, and we are seeing a YBA over here from Incoherent. What he's doing there is using the bottle glitch to move the mimics over there to the left side of the room, which unlocks the door. There's indeed a loud glitch here.
Yeah, so it's just a nifty trick that allows our runners to access those chests without the bow.
One thing that we're seeing Linlinlin do here that obviously is a new check for us is the return of the purple chest to Gary, who will open it up for us, and maybe we'll see if there's something good inside. Is there something good in the lunchbox? Of course, not be letting us down, as always. I think Linlinlin was thinking maybe of fluting over the 7. Oh. Linlinlin is setting up the glitch where they're going to go ahead and mirror right next to Gary the locksmith, and that will bring over the chest right to that spot. Yep, getting a blue potion out of it too. So not a bad find. Free blue potion is great, but not ideal for finding an item that would provide some kind of progression, which we can hear at just about 49 minutes on the dot. Xander, we can actually start talking a little bit about what we would still need for go mode, because Linlin's pretty close. And it looks like it's going to be hookshot ice rod.
Incoherent finding the other bow in the dark room of Pod.
Wow. So I think that means for our runners, I think that means they probably will both have silvers, because I assume Incoherent will eventually go and check the Mire Shed, and Linlin will eventually be going through Pod, and we'll find that bow as well.
Yeah, it does seem very likely. If Linlin finds the hook shot sooner than that, though, and the ice rod, like before heading into Pod, it might not happen. It'll be interesting to see if that does turn out happening or not.
Right. That would be very interesting, especially if Linlin's ahead but doesn't have silvers, and Incoherent's behind but has silvers. Meanwhile, Linlin's going to go in the Ice Palace. Did have Mire open, so interesting decision here.
No boots and hookshot though, right? So they can't get across that first gap.
So we'll see a nice Palace bomb jump, but yeah, we still have to. Oh yeah, that's right. We need the boots possibly for be able to get across that gap. I always forget about that.
And there they are.
Hey, there we go. Everyone was asking for boots, and boots are a nice Palace. So it turns out that for Linlin, that turns out to be a really good play, because now you've got Mire in play. But yeah, both runners actually making, not to take anything away from Incoherent here, as they're going through the room with the dark room with the 6 terror pins in it, which is probably one of the more difficult dark rooms in the game. Yeah. Now we'll still need hookshot somewhere to get through Swamp Palace, because we still got to go there. But yeah, really at this point for Linlin, it's hookshot ice rod go mode time. And Incoherent working on Helmosaur King. Getting a little bit of trolliness there with the fireball's not really cooperating, but does take down Helmosaur King, as Linlin now working through here. Now here's where it gets interesting. We see the bomb jump. I think we're seeing Linlin try and set it up, so we may see this bomb jump, and this one's pretty tough, but definitely possible. And got it. Nicely done. Well done, Linlin. it's a really nice bomb jump when you see it executed too. And incoherent. What is happening here? Oh, is it? You're gonna turn in the green pendant,
right?
Yep, got the flute out just for when this is done. So, well, this will be interesting. See if this turns into anything. Nope. Oh, tempered sword in Ice Palace as well. Where is Incoherent going? Will this be the play to 6? It is. So, is about to get the get all the things. It's about to get those silver arrows, and that's actually going to be really nice. Checking, got here's the ether.
And this is going to be a lot of time that Incoherent has silvers that Linlinlin does not. So that's going to be a lot of like time save on some boss fights and stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Not only going up through Gauntlet, but this will be a much faster Lamolas fight. This will be a much faster Lamolas fight. Gonna check Checkerboard Cave first, though. It looks like. And yeah, Linlinlin's already got 3 items out of Ice Palace, so gonna go ahead and just go to the end.
Yeah, Ice Palace, we found boots, a sword upgrade, and I believe it was like a big 20.
Yeah. So yeah, 2 pretty good items and the big 20. Interesting choice here, going with the fire rod instead of using the bombos to break the shield, but still gonna put Cold Stare in the corner, and that will be just as good as Incoherent picking up the lamp. And now I'm gonna go and do Desert Palace. So that's 4 dungeons, 4 crystal dungeons complete for Linlinlin, and we've only got 1 done for Incoherent at this point, but working on the second one.
Now I know this may sound crazy, but what are your thoughts on Hookshot or Ice Rod being on Pedestal?
Let me look at everything, and it is within play. They're both within play, and if that's not necessarily likely the case, but if it is, I think for Linlinlin that's pretty bad news, because Incoherent will have 2 of the 3 dungeons done already, and the third one will be Eastern Palace, which is going to be a massively quick clear.
If at any point Incoherent's feeling really behind, it'll be interesting to see if they just go for just the Pedestal gamble and just decide to go through Eastern.
Yeah, that's I mean, we'll see here. We still got a lot of chests to open up, so there's all sorts of possibilities. We did indeed see the green pendant turn in. It was a big 50. So unfortunately, nothing of too much value at this point. We're talking like book on pedestal. What if we put mushroom on pedestal, and then mushroom goes to book, and then book goes to one of the tablets, and Linlinlin doing the hover, or attempting to hover at least, because they have the big key. So, oh no, so close. And I'm just gonna go ahead and not attempt it the second time. That was so close to just being like the ultimate Godmire right there. That would have been so good. But yeah, very close, getting right to the edge of the platform that leads down to the basement and just dropping the hover for just a nanosecond. And unfortunately, that means you fall into the pit. But yeah, very nice try. So yeah, let's. Oh, actually, I'm gonna go with the hammer. Kind of surprised here, going with the hammer. I'm trying to go with the hammer strats instead of using the silver arrows. a one-hit shot, so... Getting that first Linlinlin. Get the second one, and now maybe getting the third one. Oh, almost had it. There we go. Still making a pretty good fight out of it for Incoherent. Getting Quake, which as far as we know does absolutely nothing. Ether is in hammer pegs. So if Incoherent goes to 3 here, nope, gonna go to, actually it looks like gonna go, yeah, to Ice Palace. Not a bad play. Not a bad play. We know what's in there. It's completable. You have Bombos, so that's very much workable. Linlinlin finding the half magic in Mire. Yeah, this is a good play for Incoherent. We'll get those boots and a tempered sword, so that will help out quite a bit.
Were both of those items before that hookshot bomb jump? Like the... yeah.
Trying to remember exactly. The boots are, but I know the H-shaped room is where the tempered sword is. There we go, using the Quake to dispatch out the penguins very quickly. About the one thing it's going to be super useful for. And Linlinlin went for... There we go. Got it the second try. Got the spooky action glitch. Doing a very nice job with it. And now I'm going to fight Vivi.
I like the use of cape and half magic here to take him out.
Yeah, I'm going to use the dash strats here to take out the smaller eyeballs. This is always a nice strat if you can do it. Just gotta be careful when the magic runs out. And good. Have more than enough arrows, so we'll just kind of pin the big ball to the wall. And the key. Take a key for coming in. Boom, there we go. Crystal number 5 for Linlinlin, while Incoherent still working past the IPBJ room into a little bit of the penguin lineup here. Going to kill them all with the bombs. Nicely done. Well executed. So where does Linlinlin go now? Hookshot's still missing. Ice Rod's still missing. Ooh. Gonna go to Pod. Probably go to Pod looking for it. Choosing the item density here. There are 5 items inside of Palace of Darkness. So Linlinlin may end up having no silvers after all. If they do a full clear of Pod, and I assume if they're looking for those 2 items, they're going to be doing a full clear of Pod. But yeah, I see some people mentioning it in chat here, Xander. So maybe we can talk about this a little bit as well. Where have we not been yet? What have we not seen? Where could these 2 items be? Because chat's mentioning Hera Basement. We've also
that would be scary.
Yeah, we've not been in the Eastern Palace as well. Pedestal, of course, that's an option. Haven't seen King's Tomb. Haven't seen.
Right. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry about that. But yeah, haven't seen King's Tomb. Haven't seen Bonk Rocks. Obviously, that first chest in Hookshot Cave can have the hookshot. It hurts when that's the case. It hurts a lot when that's the case, and it's a tournament race.
We can't full clear Turtle Rock or Swamp, but we can get a decent amount into them, right?
Yeah, Linlinlin can. Definitely.
Yeah, depending on the keys in Turtle Rock, they could be hookshot locked early.
Right. But, yeah, Linlinlin can get in there and do the torch room on the right side. Incoherent cannot at the moment without the fire rod. And Swamp is partially open. Just can't get to the back half. So it could be, Hookshot could be somewhere within Swamp. It could be within its regular dungeon, but just somewhere, if not in the vanilla location in the big chest, then in one of the smaller chests. And we are seeing Incoherent use Bombos here. It's the only option that they had to thaw out the Cold Stare. Doing a pretty good job, maybe not necessarily as clean as Linlinlin, but still doing a pretty good job of corralling the triplets up there in the top right corner.
Interestingly, I noticed around the 40-minute mark is when I think at least one of these runners hit their second row of hearts. Since then, now we've just sort of stopped seeing heart pieces and heart containers.
Right, we got all those hearts early, and then, as you mentioned, Incoherent getting that second row of hearts off of Lake Hilly Island, the heart piece that was up there. And ever since then, it's just been, we've having another one of those races where we get a bunch of junk early, so we get a lot of hearts and a lot of rupees and stuff like that. But then we start getting item saturation that we have to look at here, because we're running out of. When you start running out of locations for items to be, you eventually start running into items that you need. And Incoherent, I think, is going to be thinking King's Tomb Bonk Rocks here.
Yeah, trying to cash in those boots.
Yeah, again, I think we'll ask Incoherent about this at the conclusion of the race, but I think there's definitely a strategy at play here from Incoherent to eliminate these orphan locations. So I assume maybe Bonk Rocks in the Dark World and then you do Smith Chain. That seems like that would be a logical play if you're making this play right now.
Yeah, the only other, it seems like they like sticking around the overworld a lot, so the only other place I could think they might decide to head to is Dark Death Mountain, because they still have some things to find up there.
Yep. There's Bugnet, but we know that there's the silvers for Linlinlin, so we're even on that right now, but we know that Fire Rod is up in Super Bunny Cave. But this should get Incoherent, should get them Ether. If as expected, they're going to go to the Dark World and do Smith Chain. Ether isn't hammer bags, so with Smith Chain, it will be right away that we'll see that. We've seen Lumberjack, it's a big 20. And Linlinlin is now making the first the dip into Eastern Palace here. Let's see if we get anything out of it. This is a Pendant Dungeon. Big 300 to start. That's the first item. Do we have progression hiding out here in this dungeon? We did see Linlinlin back out of pod, so did not complete the dungeon, did not kill Helmasaur King. There's the big key.
I actually looked away. Do we know, was Helmasaur King the only thing Linlinlin left behind?
I believe so.
Was there an item on Helmasaur, or maybe they decided they found all the items and just decided not to commit the pedestal?
I don't think there was an item of value. I think it's just a decision not to commit the pedestal. I think it wasn't anything important. It was just like junk.
Okay, but Chad is saying there was an item, though, so they do know that they're at least orphaning an item in there. It's not like a map or a compass.
Right. So just an interesting decision here. Maybe thinking that finding early items here in Eastern Palace. If you could find your 3 items here early, you just don't have to complete this dungeon. You can just kind of back out. It's always just really interesting, because that's the one thing we don't know is what the runners are thinking right now with their strategies. So we're just kind of having to do our best to kind of make an educated guess on that. Incoherent going back here, I think is thinking go into Misery Mire and complete that.
Yeah, with boots on feet, they can definitely get across that gap, and it's another crystal, and they can full clear it. Might as well.
Yep. And I assume we're not going to see Incoherent toss the bird or tote the bird into the dungeon because time is money. Wait, no. Bird toss! We got a bird toss. Thank you, Incoherent. I always love it when we see a runner, even when they're fighting for their tournament life right now. Well, not completely fighting for tournament life, but fighting to progress to the next stage here. Even taking the time to do the thing. That's just really nice. And Linlinlin doing a super quick job getting the last item. It is a heart. So unfortunately for Linlinlin, that was a full clear of Eastern Palace for no items of progression.
They gonna go back into pod for the green pendant? Ooh, they're doing it!
Maybe. Yep, okay, so that was the play. So the play was they're just going to go complete Eastern Palace and then go ahead and complete Helmasaur King. Could this be a blind pet pull from Linlinlin? So, we have a question in chat. Just got here, what's on Ped? Here's the thing, we don't know. We have no idea. We have no book. We've had no hints. Both runners are just picking up pendants. I don't know if it's because they think there might be something on Ped, or if they're just like, well, we've gotten this far through the dungeons just looking for stuff. We may as well just go ahead and finish it up.
I will say this is an interesting layout of pendants. Like, it's the really quick dungeons, like Hera and Eastern, and then the really item-dense dungeon of Pod. So they're all dungeons that are really worthwhile to visit.
Right. So at that point, with what you've got, you're probably just thinking as well, might as well complete it. You know, if I need to go to the pedestal for something, I have the pendant. I don't have to worry about it.
And with where all of these items were, we technically had pedestal access really early in this seed.
That we did. Incoherent without the fire rod, having to do the long way of dealing with the 4 torches in here. So, in the half magic for Incoherent, Linlinlin picking up the 3rd pendant. Now the question becomes, do we see a play over to the pedestal?
I imagine they'll first cash in that green pendant, but once you do that, you have the pendants. I think you go for it. Just pull that pedestal.
Well, maybe you should, given what's left here. And Incoherent actually having the opportunity as well to start to catch up a little bit. Still needing to find that fire rod. We know it's in Super Bunny Cave. We know that he skipped that on the last time he was up on Death Mountain.
At the time, I believe they didn't have the Titan's mitts for the Dark Death Mountain access.
Great. Yep. Looks like we might get a blind ped pull here from Linlinlin. I think that's indeed what we're going to see. So hold on to your butts, chat. Get it hyped here.
I don't know why, but I'm feeling it's going to be mushroom or book, but then it's going to lead to nothing. Like, delayed disappointment. I don't know why, but that's what I'm feeling.
Here we go. What's on the pedestal? It's going to be a sword. It's a vanilla pedestal. It's the last sword.
I mean, there are worse things for you to pull out.
That's true, but hey, if you do all that work, you're probably hoping for... I mean, you're probably hoping for an ice rod or a hook shot. Yeah, definitely could be worse. Definitely could be better, but still not bad.
Still leaving behind Hera Basement. I wonder if a little fear might have flashed in Lynn's head there real quick as they walked by.
Huh? I don't know if we know here, but Incoherent is actually going into Eastern Palace. Maybe thinking the same thing here, that could be on Pedestal. Of course, Incoherent also having an additional third item that haven't picked up here, Fire Rod.
And I'm thinking with the item layout we're seeing, like, with how long we're into this and the fact that both runners have committed a decent amount of time to pendant dungeons, I think both of them might be feeling a decent amount behind potential. Both of them are probably getting worried.
I think, yeah, I think they're both getting worried a little bit here. Looks like Linlinlin's going to go ahead and do the first chest check here in Hookshot Cave. Is this nasty surprise? Do we have an item here in this very first chest that you could bonk over to?
They've been doing some hovers. We'll see if they try it here again.
Yeah. Oh, yep. Looks like, yeah, just there's the pause, waiting for the hover setup. And got it! It's a piece of heart. Bonks across. Trying to set up the bonks, gets the heart. Got one more hover here. Can Linlinlin do it? Can Linlinlin do it? You can do it, Linlinlin. We believe in you. Doing good so far, doing good so far, doing good so far. Oh, nice! And the mushroom!
Do you cash that in now?
I don't think so. I think you go into Turtle Rock, go as far as you can go and see what you can find in there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So we do know now that the mushroom turn-in is not the hook shot, because that is completely logically impossible for you to get the mushroom off of that and then to get the hook shot from a mushroom turn-in. It could be Ice Rod. We do have a key in the small chest there in the bottom on the left side, so that means that we're not locked out of Turtle Rock because we don't have the Fire Rod. Now the question is, what's in these right side chests? And of course, since we don't have Fire Rod, we're going to see Linlinlin take the longer route, starting going down and then back up, which means that we'll light up these torches in reverse order. Incoherent now working through Eastern Palace. Doing one of my favorite strats there, the Candaverna dash. And now an armless fight for Incoherent. Small key. Of course, that makes sense because we need a small key to go downstairs. So the next logical place to check something is going to be the big key chest here in the middle platform, which I assume we'll see them go around and go check that. Incoherent fluting away. We're 2 to 3. Yep. Will be a ped pull for Incoherent as well. Yeah, we're at the point where if Turtle Rock doesn't have it, I think it's got to be a play to check Swamp Palace, because at this point we're just looking for something, and there's not a lot of places left for Linlinlin to go do this. There's the big key, and that's vanilla location. And I'm sure right now with those ped pulls, both runners feel very, very far behind. Incoherent. Is this a play to swamp? Oh boy.
Looking like it. This will be a nice little divergence that could turn this race a little bit.
Oh boy. This could be the play if it turns out that swamp has the items. Linlinlin, meanwhile, is going to check Mimic Cave. Let's see what's in here.
If there is something nice in here, I don't know if it's going to be enough, though, because Incoherent still has the back of Skull Woods to do to beat Mothula.
Right. Has not gone back to gone back up Death Mountain. I think maybe thinking that those checks will come with a trip to Turtle Rock. But unfortunately, that's not going to be the case. If you were hoping for Turtle Rock to be your last dungeon, yeah, you've got a nasty surprise when you go up the Super Bunny Cave and find the fire rod in there. The hookshot here would be a nice, pleasant surprise for Incoherent. That would mean a dungeon complete. Hookshot and Ice Rod means that Turtle Rock is the next play. It means that you're only going through it once. While Linlinlin, if it's not in here, then Linlinlin's going to have to go through it twice.
Now, if Incoherent starts scaling Dark Death Mountain without having an Ice Rod yet, finds that Fire Rod, there's nothing in Skullwoods. There's no reason to back out and get stuck in Skullwoods, because yes, they need the crystal there, but they know that there's no items left for them in Skullwoods.
Correct. So yeah, I think
there was going to be a question in there that I just kind of spoke through it out loud.
The question being, do you back out? There's the Book of Medora. That's opens up 2 more.
We got 2 fetch quests now, or 3 sort of, yeah.
There's 1 more chest to open up here that's not a key. Yeah, Linlinlin just gonna check. There's the Ice Rod. Okay. So we know this is a key. So we know Hookshot is not in Turtle Rock.
Who put that Ice Rod there? That is cruel.
Ice Rod in the last chest on Laser Ridge. Why not? Why not?
Now, if that book or the mushroom is what leads to
Well, the
the
mushroom
hook shot,
The mushroom can't.
the mushroom
do the hook
can't.
shot.
You're right.
Yeah.
So, but the book might.
Right. It could be on Bombos or Ether tablet. So you assume that Linlin's next checks will be Ether tablet almost immediately after getting out of this dungeon, and then maybe even Hera basement. Just to completely scratch that from the checklist, because you don't want to have to come back up here. Then if those don't turn up anything, I think maybe you go check Bombos and then just go do Swamp. Because at that point you're kind of looking at Swamp being the only place. But we do have, by the way, worth remembering now, we do have 5-6 bomb now. So we could have a pyramid check as well from Linlin. Gosh, we're just opening up like the last few locations now.
Yeah, at this rate between the two runners, we're gonna have a full clear.
Yeah. Maybe poor Bonta won't be the only person to turn him to almost full clear seed. And incoherent looking for hookshot. Linlin also looking for hookshot. Only finding 10 arrows on Ether.
Finally getting that basement check out of the way. Here we go. Was it in Hera the whole time?
If it is, this is one of those things where you just kind of feel mad at yourself. Because you're like, I could have had this an hour ago. And I didn't check
No,
it.
it's in Swamp!
Oh, it's left side Swamp. We're in no mode. That means we're in no mode. And I think really at this point for Linlin is in a very good position because they will have to go to Swamp. And they probably will go to Swamp next. I think, yeah, Bombos. We've heard about the checks right now that still have to be done. So probably, Super Bomb maybe, but we know that won't lead to anything important. And then Bombos into Swamp. No Fire Rod is in Super Bunny Cave, the bottom chest there. So this might actually be a little bit closer right now. I think Linlin still has the edge for sure, with only one dungeon to complete, and that one dungeon has your go mode item, and you're gonna find it because you have to check every chest. So there's pretty much no way.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say red mail for their trouble in the basement there. Oh, and they haven't done Spike. Yeah, so interesting that. Yeah, we haven't seen Spike Cube on Linlin's side.
Right. So here's the thing with Linlin. Incoherent has checked a bunch of overworld locations that we know that Linlin has not checked yet. But Linlin doesn't need to check those locations. Linlin doesn't need to go to Bonk Rocks. Linlin doesn't need to go to King's Tomb. Linlin doesn't need to go to Catfish. Linlin can just, save and quit, go to Link's house, and going to Sanctuary. Oh, gonna go do those checks. Maybe that we were talking about here.
Maybe trying to do some of the quick ones, because the boots locked ones, really, they're not that long. King's Tomb, Bonk Rocks, they're pretty quick.
No, hasn't done Graveyard Ledge either, though. So yeah. But really, if I'm Linlin, maybe this is me thinking about it and having the knowledge that, that's there. I don't know. I think I might even think of, just dipping into Swamp Palace, cleaning out the front half. And if it's not there, you go back to doing your overworld checks. If it is there, hey, you're in go mode. You just go straight to the back and just take care of business.
Yeah, I can understand this quick overworlds check, so I wouldn't be surprised we get these, maybe the tablet. Graveyard Ledge is a little longer. I can see them opting to skip out on that.
Great. Graveyard Ledge, Catfish.
And then the bomb, the big bomb.
Mm-hmm. So what's interesting for Linlin is if that's the case, yeah, going to 4. This is going to be almost certainly going to be a play to go into Swamp Palace, or at least go to the Dark World by Swamp Palace. I don't know if we go directly to Swamp Palace, but we'll see. Right, so yeah, thinking Super Bomb here, I think. Yeah, and Amazing Ampharos. Correctly maybe predicting this, bomb the Graveyard Ledge to Catfish is a possibility. That's certainly within the routing logic here for Linlin, as all his possibilities. So Incoherent now having that done, and Incoherent going up to the mountaintop. I assume we will see the hookshot come out here. Yep. Probably going to do Super Bunny Cave here. We'll find that Fire Rod, and we'll have a choice to make. Could go into TR, but then it would be TR to Skull Woods. Do you immediately back out, go finish off Skull Woods, and then go to TR, or do you just go up, complete TR, find your go mode items, and then do it from there? I almost don't know which one is. I feel like going through TR is probably quicker at this point.
Well, so they know there's nothing useful in Skull Woods, and if they clear everything out, including everything in Hookshot Cave, they're basically going to know for sure Ice Rod has to be somewhere in T-Rock. So I think they could technically do Skull Woods just so that when they finish T-Rock, they're up by Ganon.
Right. It is picking up the powder. So now we are seeing Linlin now go ahead and do Catfish. Quick shot here for Incoherent will not be hovering, so this will be a lot quicker. I think maybe just clearing this out just to make sure that it's obviously not here. Now Linlin probably looks like going to be going into Swamp Palace.
Oh, Incoherent finally decides they've been holding back on Tower of Hera long enough.
Yep. Not a bad play, but not the quickest one. Kind of getting that feeling maybe in the back of your head that it's Ice Rod, so it's floating around somewhere, because Ice Rod could be anywhere. And it's floating around somewhere that I didn't check, and I should have had it a while ago. Yeah, Linlin doing Bombos. So the last stop here before Swamp Palace, very likely. Getting bombs out of Bombos. How appropriate.
Yeah, these two last item locations are definitely messing with both of these runners' heads, because Ice Rod was as deep into T-Rock as it could possibly be, and Hookshot was as deep into Swamp as it could possibly be.
Yep.
And no one wants to dig into those dungeons without those items.
So yeah, Linlin will be probably, looks like, first into go mode here. And probably first into GT. And unfortunately for us tonight, those who are wondering, I believe the big key guessing game on the bot is still broken, so we won't be able to do the leaderboard. We could do it for fun, but getting a mushroom turned in here. A mushroom turned in just a heart. Yeah, incoherent gonna probably... Oh, gonna go actually do the bat. So we get 2 bats tonight. 2 bats for the price of 1. Getting close. We're over an hour 30 right now. We're getting close to being not only in go mode, but we're being very quickly all 7 crystals here in Linlin's possession. And there's incoherence. Gonna be heading up to Skull Woods, presumably to take care of Mothula. In a very good position to make this a quick fight, but still has to go through Turtle Rock.
I think with everything Incoherence checked at this point, they basically know Ice Rod has to be in T-Rock. I think they've cleared out all of Hyrule and Dark World.
Yeah, they've cleared out just about everything. Because we know Book is going to be on the laser bridge, so we know that Incoherent's not going to have to check the tablets. I think if you're Linlinlin too, you also know you're about to hit go mode here because you've pretty much run out of locations to check for this hook shot, so you know it's over here somewhere.
Yeah, they might have had a few orphan locations. Like, did they ever do Graveyard Ledge? Or did we say they skipped it?
I don't think they did Graveyard Ledge. I think probably just guessing. I think Linlin knows Mushroom is not hookshot because of its location within Hookshot Cave. That it required hookshot to get over there in the first place. But yeah, I think Linlin is pretty confident at this point that they're about to pick up the hookshot. Having done the due diligence here to clear out almost the entire seed. Both runners almost having to clear out the entire seed, but at 1 hour, 36 minutes, 33 seconds, Linlin is in go mode with only the back half of Swamp Palace to do before going up to Ganon's Tower. And yeah, Incoherent definitely behind at this point. Mostly because of the fact that Turtle Rock's a very long dungeon, so it's going to take some time to get through there. And back half of Swamp is not very long.
I'm curious if any worst case scenarios are going through Incoherent's mind. Like they might be thinking, "Oh, I might find Book on Laser Bridge, not Ice Rod. Have to bail, get Ice Rod elsewhere, come back." Obviously, we know that can't happen, but from Incoherent's perspective, it's theoretically still possible.
I think if you're thinking that I think if you're at this point, you are thinking that, but you're not letting it dominate. You're thinking of it as a possibility, and you're preparing for that as something you might have to do, just to keep it in the back, keep it in your mind as the thing you might need to do, but you're hoping it's not the case. Because the more possibilities that you're keeping in your mind as you're checking things out, as long as it's not overwhelming you and making you miss things that are normally there, the more options you can either consider as your next move or be able to eliminate as you open up chests. And Linlinlin about to get that 7th crystal. There it is. And as you might see on the tracker, boy, Aldera's been busy tonight. That's almost every item in the game is almost there. So, Xander, would you like to talk a little bit about what we're going to be doing here shortly? I don't know what Linlinlin is planning. Maybe going. Oh, actually, maybe going over to
maybe this is fast Ganon, or no?
Is it? No.
It could be this is a fast Ganon seed, and they don't have to do Ganon's tower at all.
Maybe.
It would seem to be the case, yes.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Wow. Well, I guess we're not doing. We didn't know it was fast Ganon. No, it was not on the sheet, but there we go.
So that would be the setting change that after Linlin won the first match, Incoherent opted to make that swap so that all the other settings were the same, but Incoherent said, let's make it fast Ganon.
Right. So, whoops, fast Ganon. But I can see why Incoherent probably want to do that as a strategy. But Linlin now, of course, being able to go right over and do fast Ganon. It's kind of funny though.
After a seed like this, I'd be grateful it's fast Ganon.
Yeah, I feel like that would be the case too. This was definitely the kind of seed where fast Ganon is welcome. At this point, you really don't want to have to do GT anyways. After having done everything else in the game and having found everything else in the game, you really just want to be able to get it done, get it done here. So yeah, Linlin pretty comfortably. Just gotta be careful you don't fall in. And there we go. Linlin looks like, as long as we get to walk across the bridge here, Linlin is going to be going through to the next round with the 2-0 over Incoherent. And there it is. There's get your GGs in chat. Linlin with a 141.28 .done .comment LOL. That may be followed by .comment because oh boy, that's pretty brutal. See, and Incoherent here, still trucking. Boy, this was not a happy seed. So yep, I think we're gonna get Linlin in here real quick, and I believe we have Linlin in here now. GG.
What? A seed.
I know.
Yeah. How are you feeling after that?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you don't want to go to Swamp. I thought about TR for a very long time. If TR was quick, I actually would have gone in the moon. I was on the mountain, but it was but like, you don't really want to go back out, especially with the beer. You kind of want to wait for the shot, and that when you have Pendant Eastern and Pendant Pod, and the game is throwing a bow at you, you don't really want to do that climb before you touch those two dungeons, kinda. But once you're inside them, problem is you have to commit.
Yeah, that's kind of what we were seeing from both you and Incoherent, was that once you got into some of those dungeons, you just kind of had to commit. But man, for a fast Ganon seed, it sure was like trying to make it as slow and tedious as possible for you too.
After I hit the back of bus, I just went to E7C and there's an item on Armors and an item on Randomizer and Green Pendant and Pedestal. That's 4 items, and you're like, sure, let's go.
And yeah, just as we were talking about all of that, Incoherent has just hit go mode at 1 hour 43 minutes and about 45 seconds, finding that ice rod in the back of Turtle Rock.
But
So
at the same time, like going to Sah's closet so early and finding the mids there, like I can see people skipping on that quick check, and I kind of felt great going into Village of Outcast because I could basically do everything.
yeah,
And I got that either as well on my way.
yeah, that was actually a thing that you did. Incoherent did wait a little bit to rope that in with his visit over to Palace of Darkness and Eastern Palace. So it definitely gave you a bit of a time advantage having the Titans mitts early.
I think the biggest way it paid off for you was it led to you getting the Fire Rod when you were up Death Mountain. You could go into Dark Death Mountain, whereas Incoherent didn't have Titans yet, so couldn't do Dark Death Mountain, and was looking for that Fire Rod for a long time.
I mean, the Fire Rod is the thing. I think the other thing is the hookshot, and since the hookshot placement was so bad, you don't really want to come into the mountain with just mitts for 2 items. Maybe more. I mean, you could open TR at this point, but yeah, I can get why you're putting in the mountain at this point. You want at least Fire Rod or hookshot. Fire Rod to go into TR or hookshot for a hookshot game, but he didn't have any of those two, so I can get why he skipped it for so long.
Yep, and Incoherent just finishing up Turtle Rock, so now on the way to do the fast cannon fight. So we'll be finishing up shortly here, and probably actually finishing up a little bit closer maybe than we expected from the outset there. Definitely had a bit of a lead there on crystals, but finding those last couple items did let Incoherent kind of reel the gap back in a little bit. So as far as you didn't check a lot of kind of what I like to call the orphan locations there, Linlinlin, the ones that are kind of out of the way, like Catfish and Graveyard Ledge, Bonk Rocks, and stuff like that. You kind of left those toward the end. Was that part of the strategy? Just try to clear out the dungeons as much as possible, and then worry about the other ones later?
After the pedal, of course, obviously still behind. So even after getting the book in Ice Palace, yeah, that was part of the strategy after pulling Pedestal. Reverse Ledge is always tricky to come back to. Like I decided not to check it the first time I was with our world. Still check Bumper Ledge since I got the cadence onwards, but I usually decide not to check that because it's time. Yeah, it costs a lot of time.
Very time consuming, yeah.
Yeah, time consuming, sorry. I usually check it when I'm doing Red Bumble going to Catfish if I have a hookshot, but obviously hookshot was my goal.
Indeed. And we did get to see some nice hover attempts there, and the one that unfortunately fell just a little bit short in Mire there. We thought we might have that going for like the ultimate God Mire there, but you did do a very nice hover there across the gaps in Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, the one Mire was kind of unfortunate. Like when you're one tile away from the goal, like kind of like chilling a little bit, but yeah. But hookshot cave. Got a mushroom, but I was looking for a hookshot at the end, so didn't turn that in.
Indeed. Yep, so you knew that was not going to be there. But Incoherent has just finished up the 148.12. So again, everybody get your GGs in chat there for Incoherent. Putting on still a pretty good time. A 148 still really good. And I think we'll get Incoherent in here very, very short. Let me see if we can pull them in here now. And I believe we have incoherent in here. GG's. Hopefully you can hear.
Yeah, GG.
GG. So, boy, that was a seed and a half. We were just talking with Linlinlin about the fact that this was a fast Ganon seed, and it tried to give you guys the slowest possible, long, dragged out seed chain that you could possibly find.
Yeah, it was definitely an experience. The hookshot and the ice rod both being in the worst possible places.
Yep. And was there a strategy just to kind of, as you noticed that you were picking up the pendants, was that like a blind ped pull kind of getting routed into
I
the
had
strategy?
noticed early that like there's not a lot of requirements for the ped. I knew where the lamp was, and so if a bow shows up, okay, everything's in logic now. And then I found the mitts after doing most of Dark World for nothing and went, okay, we need to make a play here. So I went into pod. And that set me on the road to Hundo.
Yeah, so we noticed it seems like you like to do a lot of the overworld checks and like clean up those like places that can get left behind easily. Is that kind of how you usually go about it? Was it just the way the items fell that you found yourself not visiting dungeons so much at first?
I do sort of prioritize overworld a lot, especially nice routes of, I can get all these things in one pass.
Yeah, definitely you had some nice loops there routing some of those overworld locations together. It was pretty clean. It's just unfortunate that some of those big key items were in the dungeons instead this time around.
Yeah, that Dark World loop would have been a lot better if I had mitts the first time.
Yep, that's definitely something we noticed with the fire rod being up in Super Bunny Cave. That was kind of I think one of the big things that really came back to bite was not being able to get that Dark Death Mountain axe routed in the first time and having to wait to go back and take care of Mothula.
Yeah, and that explains some of my later routing where I'm like, okay, I have pulled the ped for nothing, and so either Lin has done the same thing I have, and we're still sort of okay, or he did something faster than that, and if he's gone to Turtle Rock with just the ice rod missing, I've already lost. So, hopefully it's somewhere else.
Indeed. So, good news is for both of you, regardless of win or loss, you both will be playing another game in the tournament bracket stage here. So, just to give you a little bit of heads up on this, Incoherent is going to be playing against Josh, and Linlinlin, unfortunately, you've got big number one here, Bonta, coming up. So,
no,
He
kind of teased me a little bit a few days ago after he won against Josh. Like, I'm waiting for you. I'm like, okay. Like, especially like we're as some people would know, we are actually both French, so that's gonna be
well, that's definitely a fun matchup here between you two. So, anything that you both are looking forward to within the next round here?
I mean, it's gonna be some kind of battle between French hoppers, I guess. So, kind of hype here, hyping it up a little bit here. Like, even amongst the French community, I think people will be looking forward to that French matchup. I'm actually really excited facing a great opponent like this. I never 1v1 him, even in the French tournament. I didn't get to face him, so that's scary but exciting. That's how I would put it.
It'll be scary, but it's also going to be a pretty good chance to kind of test things and see where you stand against against the number one overall seed going into this part of the tournament, coming out of qualifiers. And Bonta very much recognized as one of the harder runners to beat right now. Just kind of in a bit of a hot streak, but never know. Rando is Rando lives up to its name. It's very random sometimes, and you never know what's going to happen.
I was honestly happy to make the field at all, and I have a more chance, and maybe we'll meet each other in a week or so.
That is a possibility,
I'm not
actually.
having high hopes for my game against Bonda, but like you still have to believe, I guess. But yeah,
Yes, you
I
do,
guess we'll
yeah.
see each other in a week. But sure.
Yeah, you do. That is a possibility here. Should because Linlin, by advancing to the finals, even if you do not beat Bonta, you actually do bounce back into the second, the losers round 2. Which, if Incoherent beats Josh and Bonta beats Lin, it would be a rematch of this very best of 3, but with a little more stakes on the line.
Yeah, we'll see. Good luck, Lin. But if you beat Bonta, then I have to maybe fight him.
Yeah, I'll try not to send you Bonta. No.
But yeah, just want to say thank you to both Linlinlin and Incoherent for putting on a great show tonight. It was great to watch you two run. I really appreciate you guys both being in here, and I want to wish you the best of luck in the next round for both of you.
Yeah, thanks for the restream. Thanks to everyone involved in this.
Yeah, having a great tournament so far, and I hope it's gonna continue. Like, I've worked really hard for it, and like now it's paying off. So yeah, having a great time, and hope it continues throughout the whole tournament. It's only the beginning. We're only like 4 days, I think, and a great lot of games. By the way, I heard something very interesting that today, in 4 races, both runners pulled the pedestal for nothing. Not for a set of runners, so 8 people.
Yeah, I think there was discussion in chat about that happening. That we've had multiple polls today, and it's just been a whole bunch of junk on Ped for everybody. So don't feel too bad, guys.
We're just giving the people what they want. Bird tosses, Ped polls, apparently hovers.
Yes. Yeah, I also want. I did commend Lin on the hover before. I want to commend you as well, Incoherent, on your bird toss. I was very happy to see that. So thank you. All right. Anything else that you guys just wanted to mention real quick before we start wrapping up?
No, I got nothing after that.
I think I need rest because I'm actually very sick. But yeah.
All right. Well, thank you both again, and Lin, I hope you feel better soon. So yeah, thank you guys again for being in here and for giving us quite the show tonight. Be sure to follow both of them. Actually, since the bot's not working, would you guys like to just give a real quick shout out for your Twitch channel?
Oops.
Oh, there we go. There's Incoherent leaving hello, and there's Lin. So if you guys would like to follow them, it's twitch.tv/incoherent and twitch.tv/linlinlin. So yes, thank you guys so much for being here tonight. Also want to thank Aldera, who's there in chat with the GG, for doing all of the tracking tonight for us. There's a lot to keep in track of because we had a lot of places we were visiting and we filled up almost the whole thing. So thank you so much, Aldera, for doing all of that for us on this very rough seed. And of course, Xander, want to thank you as well for hopping on in here, kind of almost last second, being able to sign up for doing this, so I didn't have to do it all by myself. I appreciate it. It was good working with you.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure, and thanks for co-commenting as well.
Absolutely. So for anyone who might want to, who has not got their rando fill in tonight, if there's any more rando you want, we can provide it. It's over on Speed Gaming 4. Ganon's Gone Wild and Apathy Duck are playing Game 2. Ganon's Gone Wild is up 1-0 in the series. So head on over to Speed Gaming 4 if you want to check that one out. They're about an hour into the seed, into their run right now. So yeah, probably still got plenty of time in that one. Looks like that they're not really close to go mode yet. So definitely got some more entertaining action over there. But that'll be it for us here on Speed Gaming 2 tonight. We have a bunch of matches coming up tomorrow, starting really early, 6:05 a.m. Early morning rando between Maximum Barnage and Top Life on Speed Gaming on the main channel. And then we got matches at noon, 2 p.m., 2:20, 4:30, and then it just keeps kicking off. We've got so many matches coming up here. We're still in the first round here. We're getting toward the end of the week, so people are having to get their matches in. We're going to have plenty of Link to the Past tournament randomizer action for you to check out. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. So I've been Neon Tiger, and Xander, anything you want to say before we head out?
Just one last reminder that go ahead and encourage to follow the Speed Gaming channels, 1 through all the ones that they have. Easy way to keep up on all your randomizer goodness, as well as plenty of other games and runs they got going on. So drop those channels a follow to kind of keep an eye out, see what's coming on.
Yep, that's Speed Gaming, and then Speed Gaming 2 through 5, and then we've also got ALTTP Randomizer. I think may have some races get restreamed eventually. So definitely follow all of those, and we will see you here once again very soon. Remember, someone out there loves you. We love you too. Have a good night, everybody.